And welcome to the SCOL Coaches Show here live from the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse. I'm Lee Hendee, and we've got a couple of special guests today. We're going to kick things off with the coach of the Greenfield McLean Tigers, and he is Randy Clausen. Welcome to our SCOL Coaches Show, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, I know you had some highs and lows in the season, but you faced a pretty tough team last night.
Yeah, Miami Trace, outstanding football team. They do a lot of things well, very physical up front and on both sides of the ball, and they put a lot of pressure on you, and so it was a tough task for our team last night, and unfortunately, Miami Trace was able to come to our place and walk away with the victory.
You said you had to start a freshman quarterback last night because your starter's out with an injury.
Yeah, Thomas Schrader had been our starting quarterback all year and a senior for us, pretty much a 3-year starter, has a lower leg injury that it just takes away from his mobility and his ability to do the things that he does in our offense. So he wasn't able to go last night, and Owen O'Connor, a true freshman, I guess that's the only way to say it, but a freshman quarterback for us came in, and we thought he, for a freshman, handled the pressure of playing a good Miami Trace team well. I think the team, the seniors that were on the field with him, did a good job rallying around him and keeping his spirits up, and I think he's got a big future at McLean as a quarterback. He's a very talented kid and did a nice job for us.
Well, let's talk about some of the highlights, I guess, from the season. You've had some games where you've done well.
Well, we won our first 3 games. So we start off every year with Adena, and Adena had a big win last night against a good Paint Valley team. So we were able to beat Adena, and then Unioto and Zane Trace was a tough game for us at Zane Trace. But once we get into the SCOL has really grown in leaps and bounds, and with the addition of Chillicothe coming into the league this year, and then Clinton Massey, the defending state champs, and Miami Trace's resurgence, this league is a physical football league, and right now we've got a lot of bumps and bruises, a lot of kids with some minor injuries, and we certainly hope we get everybody back and playing, but. East Clinton is doing a nice job. Coach Rayback, the new coach there, first-year coach, has got some good things happening with his program, and Coach Dye at Washington Courthouse is doing a fine job with his kids, and they were both able to come to our place and get wins this year, but it's a tough league, and we're going to have to keep building our program and to try to stay competitive with those guys.
Of course, as coaches, you're always kind of looking down the road to see what the pipeline may, so to speak, have to offer in kids coming into the future. What's the future look like for kids and for Greenfield McLean football? Well,
I think we got a good group of kids. Our numbers have increased at all levels. We got a big 7th grade group coming in that's doing a nice job. We got our numbers in the 8th grade are still not where we want them, but a pretty decent sized freshman group and a pretty nice sized sophomore group. So our numbers are growing. We had years where we would have dressed 35 kids 9 through 12, and this year we're dressing 60 9 through 12. So. We got our numbers coming up, which is a thing we need especially with the physicality of this league. That we got to have guys on the field, and when you got numbers, you got guys competing in practice for positions. You got guys competing in the weight room for those positions in the off season. So and we got some talented young kids. We're starting a sophomore at corner and a slot receiver spot who's had some big games for us, and Alex Holler. We talked about Owen O'Connor coming in as a sophomore or as a freshman and playing for us last night at quarterback. Big upside to him. I think we got some talent, but we got to work. We got to work in the off season. Sure. We got to get kids in the weight room. We got to get that competition from Friday nights to transition into competition in December in the weight room, in January, February, March, April, right. May. They used to talk, you win football games in June and July, and that might have been true in the 80s, But in the league we're in now and the competition that we got to face, it's kids got to work year round to get their bodies physically ready to go and compete week after week after week with teams like Chillicothe, Clinton Massey, Miami Trace, Washington Courthouse, East Clinton, and next year Wilmington coming into the league will just add to that, the physicality of the total picture. So that's the next step that we really need to take as a program is that the entire off-season package.
Let's jump over to talk a little bit about your coaching experience and your playing experience. Where did you play football at?
Well, I went to high school at Ottawa Glandorf High School up in northwestern Ohio, around the Lima Findlay area there, and then that's where I played. I didn't play college ball. I got hired down here at Greenfield in 1996 and coached a year of 7th grade football. My second year in 97, I got moved up to freshman, and then 98, I became a varsity assistant with then head coach Tim Gossett, and served as a assistant varsity coach for many years with him. 4 or 5 years as a defense coordinator for Coach Gossett, and then this is my 9th season as the head coach at McLean. So all my coaching experience has been in Greenfield, and it's been a wonderful experience for me. The kids have been great kids, and then they work hard. We just got to continue to push forward.
Greenfield is a great, I'd say, kind of a rural type environment out there. It's a nice community.
It is. It's a nice community. We got challenges, just like every community does. We've suffered from some local businesses closing doors, and in the economic downturn that we've faced as a nation. But a lot of communities face those similar challenges. And our enrollment over the last few years have dropped. This year we're a Division IV school. Part of that was the addition of another division, but another part of it's our enrollment is sliding. For the last 5-6 years, we've consistently lowered our enrollment, and a lot of that's just the jobs. Jobs are leaving, families leave to pursue jobs, and that's tough for everybody. But it is a great community. The people there are wonderful supporters of the programs, all the programs that the kids are involved in, whether it's athletics, show choir, band. The community's there to lend whatever hand they can and support the kids. And the community may not have a lot, but what they have, they give, and it's a pretty special place.
Well, I know your band director over there, Charlie Hargrave. He's a friend of mine. But let's talk a little bit about your assistants, your assistant coaches.
Well, our offense coordinator is Tim Gossett. Tim Gossett was the head coach for many years and kind of stepped aside for a few years. And then I decided I needed to get him back into the coaching ranks. And, I saw fire was still in him to do that. And I was fortunate to get him back. He's a great man, a great leader of kids, and a great coach. We're glad to have him. Our defense coordinator is John Penwell. And John Penwell played at McLean in the late 80s. Graduated in 1990 and then went on to play college ball at the University of Cumberland and Williamsburg, Kentucky, which he's there today. He's taking a few kids down to see that program, which is doing really well this year. And then John coached in some Kentucky high schools for a few years, came back, was a D coordinator at Adena for many years, and some of their playoff runs, he was there. And then we were fortunate enough to get John to come back home and be our defense coordinator for us. We've got Matt Rake, offense and defensive line coach, played at Greenfield. I actually had the privilege to coach him when he was a freshman, and then work with him at the high school level. Great young man, works hard, and we got him back into the school and teaching there and coaching for us. We got Brady Streitenberger, who's a courthouse man. Yeah. Grew up here, played here in courthouse, and I tell you, he's a fantastic teacher of the game in the classroom and the game of football. He's a great young man to have around. We give him a hard time because he's the young guy on staff, but he takes it all in stride and works extremely hard for us. We are honored to have them. We got Brad Campbell working with our freshman. He's freshman coach. and does an outstanding job working with those kids. And Bruce Barnhart, another guy working with our freshman team. So those are my coaches, and they're all doing a great job for us.
One of the, and I'm sure all coaches would say this, one of the most rewarding things is to see the progression of the young men coming through the system and how they develop after they graduate and go on in life.
Yeah, that's it is, and it's unfortunate. We've talked about this in our program that it's unfortunate that Greenfield doesn't have those jobs, because we got so many outstanding young kids come through our program that go off to college and then never return to Greenfield because the jobs aren't there. You know, unless they come back to be a teacher, come back to work at the hospital. There's not a lot of jobs for the guys with college degrees in the town. And that I think that hurts us. That hurts the community overall, that you don't have those guys coming back and giving back to the program in the capacities that I'm sure they would like. I know I hear from many of them through emails or other forms of communication how they follow McLean from wherever they are, whether they're serving in the military or living in Cincinnati or in Texas or wherever. They follow the school sports and how they're doing, and they keep in touch. So, but it'd be nice to have them in the community.
Sure would. And what other, I guess I'd say, major sports does Greenfield have to offer?
Well, obviously in the fall we got football, soccer, girls volleyball and girls soccer, and then in the winter, we got wrestling, basketball, and swimming. Mm-hmm. We got Edward Lee McLean built McLean High School. We got a really nice indoor swimming pool, one of the first in the state of Ohio. So that's pretty special. There's a long history there with our swimming program, and they do a great job. Then we got baseball, softball, and track in the spring.
Yeah. Great. Well, I certainly am encouraged by what you've said about Greenfield McLean here today. It looks like with you and your staff and the folks and the youth that are coming on, I think Greenfield does have a bright future, and hopefully things will continue in a positive way.
Well, thank you.
All right. Anything that you'd like to talk about as far as either the school or your program? Any parting words, I guess I could say? McLean High School is approaching the 100-year mark. So there's some things in the work to celebrate the 100-year anniversary. It was 1916, I believe, was the first class, and so that's just a few years down the road. Right.
And if you ever walk into that McLean High School, you'd probably be hard pressed to say that looks like a 100-year-old school building that's had children running up and down the hallways.
Yeah.
With the statues and the paintings hanging on the walls. It's really a special place. I know when I moved to Greenfield 17 years ago, I came down for a job interview. Right. And I walked through the doors of the high school building, and I thought I walked into the wrong building. I said, this is not a high school. I walked into some kind of museum or some kind of other institution, but not a high school. And to my surprise, it was the high school, and it's a very special place. Yeah, there is a lot of history at Greenfield McLean Schools, and no doubt about that. Well, Coach Randy Clausen, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you on with us on the SCOL Coaches Show, and thank you very much. Thank you. And enjoy your day. Root those Buckeyes on to victory. Absolutely. Go Bucks. All right. Well, thank you, and we'll move on to our next guest, and he's just sitting over there resting, and he had a big night last night. And all right, have a seat. We've got Coach Dan McShirley of the Clinton Massey Falcons. What a night last night.
Yeah, the kids played real well. They just executed in all three phases. We came out with expectations of doing some different things, and we were able to do that in our passing game, and our quarterback Hunter had a nice game, and we distributed the ball to a lot of different receivers. So for a Clinton Massey team to throw it 15 times, we feel real good about it.
Well, that was the amazing thing. We had seen you play a couple of other games where it was mostly the running game, but last night you came out and you threw the ball and you threw it accurately.
Yeah, as a coach, you look at your personnel and you try to build your team based on the talents of the kids you got. And, Hunter's one of those kids that has that ability to throw the ball down the field. And, we've been traditionally known as a triple option team. We've had those quarterbacks in the past, but Hunter's one of those kids that has a combination of not only being able to run the triple, but he can throw it as well. So, being a 10th grader, you got to feel it's real promising for him coming up in our program, and hopefully he'll develop, and we'll be able to mix it up a little bit in the future.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing is he's still got a couple of years in the program, and as well as he's already developed, I think, as you say, the future's pretty bright.
Well, you got to keep building. We got some young guys that we think are going to be pretty talented, and if he can stay healthy and keep maturing, it's always nice to have a quarterback to lead that offense, and we're pretty excited about it.
Well, you are the defending state champions in football, and tell us about how that came through last year with your whole schedule last year, and then winding up state champions. That is just a long road, but it just got to make you feel great.
Well, that class last year of seniors was real special. The year before last, they were young, and I think we were 8-2 in the regular season, and we just got on a roll and ended up winning the regional championship first time in school history against a real tough CJ team, and we took it on the chin against a great Kenton team. Matty Mock, I think he's the national record holding quarterback in the whole United States, and they beat us in the state semis. And when you have that experience of having those kids have to step up against that type of a program, they came back really, really hungry. They were seasoned and they were very determined. So, that was last year. That was just a great senior class. This is a new team this year. We're even though it was a wonderful accomplishment, this is a whole new year and this is a whole new team, and these seniors, this is their team, and that's the way we're looking at it this year.
All right, you have had another great season this year. Tell us about how you've gotten to this point in this year.
Well, it's been we graduated a lot of seniors, and we had a lot of kids that were new. We felt that they were very talented, but they didn't have the experience. And it's been a progress of just it's I call it a slow grind where you're just developing that game experience. We plugged in about 4 different offensive linemen. We plugged in a lot of defensive players, and we've just kind of progressed. And I think we're really starting to come into our own right now, where these guys now they know they belong, and we play. And I've told people this is probably the toughest schedule that we've faced since I've been coaching at Clinton Massey, probably in school history. When you go down to Columbus or go up to Columbus and play a strong DeSales ball club, of course Chillicothe's tough. We're going to play a tough Miami Trace. Jonathan Aller's always one of the top programs in Ohio, and Waynesville right now is having a heck of a team, heck of a season. They're going to probably make the state playoffs, and they can make a deep run in Division 5. So if you look at the whole total body of the schedule, it's very formative, and I think it's kind of prepared us. It's got a season right now, and we're just hoping to just take it one game at a time and try to build momentum and hopefully peak when we need to.
All right. Well, before we talk about this next week's game and a couple of things from last night, let's talk about your coaching experience and your staff. You've been coaching at Massey for a little while now.
Well, I started out. This is my 28th year. I've been coaching at Massey. This is my 18th year. I was a head football coach at St. Paris Graham up in Champaign County. I was the head coach there for 5 years. I coached there for 10 years. I graduated from a program that's not too far from here called West Jefferson. Played for John Sines, who was actually a head coach at Chillicothe a long time ago. But anyway, so I'm originally from this area, but my coaching staff is outstanding. They've been with me. They're very loyal. Doug Howard, Jetski Zantini, Aaron Sewer, Scott Killen, Gary Resnick. They do a great job, and they've been with us they've been with me for a long time, and I think we've just developed a lot of continuity, and I'm just real fortunate to have those guys.
What's it look in the future as far as kids coming on in Clinton Massey? I talked to Coach Clausen about the future. New kids coming in the program. You get back to 7th grade and freshmen and all that.
Well, next year, we're real excited about next year. We got an outstanding junior class, a lot of talented kids. We've had success at the lower levels. We run a freshman schedule. Our freshmen are going to end up with 9 games this year. They play a lot of bigger schools. We play Miamisburg, and we're going to play Winton Woods in a couple weeks. So, our freshmen, even though we're about 500 right now, I think, they're getting to play a lot of football. And then our youth level program is without a doubt one of the strongest ones in the area. And these kids come in from a very young age and filter into the junior high, and that success just breeds success, and hopefully we can just keep it going.
Having a successful program such as making the playoffs and winning state championships just probably enhances bringing more kids into the program.
I think that's true. I think it's just a legacy type thing, and it's very competitive, especially with the senior class. It's kind of cool being a senior at Clinton Massey playing football. It's one of those things that when you play football, it's like it's time to step up. And I think it's the situation now is where each one of these senior classes that come through, they want to outdo the other one, and that's just tradition and just trying to carry on that legacy. And I think it's really right now starting to pay off.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about last night. The team had a great night, defeating the Blue Lions, another SCOL team. There was a couple of plays in there that may have been, a little questionable. We saw it from the booth. You saw it from the field. Looked like a lateral pass, but I guess the official just got maybe a little excited with the whistle.
Yeah, it happens. It was an inverted whistle. Actually, there were 2 inverted whistles that cost us touchdown, but I don't think it really hurt us because we were able to score and overcame those. But, you'll have that. That was really insignificant. The main thing we wanted to do in that ball game is to try to do some different things in the passing game and to try to give our running backs a little bit of a break. And, we were able to kind of rest Bailey Wolf. He's our all-state running back coming back off of last season, and he's been nicked up this year. And, when you get into the playoffs this time of the year, you have to kind of endure those injuries. So anytime you get an opportunity to give your running backs a nice breather and just kind of not having to get in there and bang, and especially going in next week against Miami Trace, we feel pretty good about it.
And it seemed like your defense was more than up to the task last night, as every time Josh Williams and the Blue Lions looked like they were going to make some room and start moving down the field, you were able to either get the quarterback in the backfield or just stop them.
Well, we try to load the defense up with a lot of speed and athleticism, and we believe it's our philosophy that you got to be able to run, and that's kind of what we are. We're a speed-based defense. We try to stay gap sound, just try to maintain good leverage and positioning on the offense, and as long as the kids are flying around having fun and making plays, you can play pretty good defense.
All right, that brings us to this coming week. and it's probably going to be a pretty good test for you. Miami Trace is coming into your home field. From a scouting aspect, what do you expect out of Miami Trace?
Well, Coach Bartlett's an outstanding coach. We go back a long time. We've actually coached in all-star teams back when I was at Graham together. So I know him. He's kind of an old-school guy like myself. We're going to run the ball first, and they're going to come in with a formative running attack. And they got a great receiver in the Pettiford, so we're going to have to check him, do a good job on the Pettiford kid, and their quarterback has an opportunity to make big plays. So we're going to have to defend their quarterback and really fill the gaps and stop their running back. So, it's going to be a slugfest. We're expecting a very physical game. They're going to throw everything at us they got. Obviously we're going for an outright league championship, so our kids are hopefully going to be up for the task. This is going to be real exciting for the whole SCOL, hopefully.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a huge game. Everybody's going to be anticipating this game from all over the SCOL and outside of the SCOL.
Well, it looks like on paper, regardless of who wins or loses, both teams are going to make the playoffs. Obviously we want to go out and put our best foot forward, and if we, you just never know. We may be playing more than once. This might be not the first meeting and only meeting. This might be just one of the two meetings. So it should be kind of fun. It's going to be neat how things play out.
And I'm sure your stands are going to be loud and proud at Clinton Massey Field.
Absolutely, and we'll take all the gate proceeds we can. And I'll tell you, times are tough, and I think we're one of the only leagues that still have a 5 and a 3 gate, where everybody else is the gates. It's just hard times. We need all the money we can get. We need all the people in the stands we can get. Believe me.
We'll hear those cowbells ringing in the stands every time something great happens for the Falcons.
Absolutely.
Anything that you'd like to tell the fans and about Clinton Massey football, or people that have not seen you play, what to expect from Massey?
Well, like I said, we're a program that has been established, and we're very proud of where we come from, and we come from a town called Clarksville that has a population of 500, and a lot of people, when they drive through these little burgs where we're from, it's hard for them to believe, but we got a bunch of great parents, we got great kids, and we're just a very proud community. And Coach Clausen talked about coming up on 100 years of Greenfield, and we're coming up on, this is our 50th year at Clinton Massey, so it's kind of interesting how that works out. But I'll tell you, it's just, we just want to represent, and win or lose, we're going to give it everything we got.
Well, Clinton Massey also not only has a fine sports tradition, they have a high academic standard as well.
Do a nice job. All the teachers do. We're getting a lot of open enrollment kids, and a lot of people, a lot of parents and families from a lot of the neighboring school districts, because of our tradition academically, they're open enrolling a lot of our kids. So our enrollment figures are really going up because of that academic standards that our school's been able to establish.
Well, how many years out of the past have you, the football team, made the playoffs? You've been in there, at least 4 or 5 times, maybe more.
Well, this will be our 12th consecutive year. This will be our 13th. We made it. We qualified back in 1998, so this will be our 13th year if we qualify this year, 12 consecutive.
That's fantastic, and that just shows that the program is well established, has a great foundation, and great support from your community.
Absolutely, and it's a family, and all my kids, my youngest daughter is going to graduate this year, so I've graduated 4 kids, and me and my wife are empty nesters now, so it's going to be a little different having no kids in the household, but I'm still having a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we appreciate you making the trip all the way up here to, I guess you'd kind of call it enemy territory. But everybody's kind of, I guess all the coaches in the SCOL get along pretty well. All I've heard is positive things about, coaches talking about other schools. So it's kind of a nice camaraderie.
Absolutely. I know all these coaches well, and just every one of them, even the new Coach Hendee, Chillicothe, even though he's a kind of a new coach to the league, I know him well from years past. So yeah, it's a nice situation, and hopefully with Wilmington coming in next year, it'll even be better. Being the fact that Wilmington is kind of the hub, really. I mean, they're right there, so it's even going to be, I think, more exciting with those guys coming in next year.
And they were one of the old SCOL schools for many, many years.
Absolutely. So this is one of the oldest conferences or leagues, I think, in probably the state of Ohio. So as long as we can keep it together and keep improving, it's going to make for quite a league.
I think you are very, very right, and look forward to nothing but more great things from Clinton Massey and the SCOL.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, that is Coach Dan McShirley of the Clinton Massey Falcons. And Coach, if you got time, step in and maybe enjoy a nice meal here.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate Coach McShirley, and we're going to invite my partner Rick Phillips in here, and we thank you for watching. We have had another couple of great coaches here at the SCOL Coaches Show this morning. A little rainy and wet out there, but this time of year you never know what you're going to get weather-wise.
No, usually when it gets close to Halloween and, kids have to bundle up to go out and trick-or-treat, we realize that since we're out here on the patio, it does get a little nippy, but still, all in all, it's a fairly pleasant day to be out and about.
And Coach McShirley, we didn't mention the score last night. I didn't want to really try to embarrass the Blue Lions, but what a performance by the Clinton Massey Falcons last night. And he said they wanted to come out and just try some new things, and it worked big time last night.
Well, as we were saying on our broadcast last night, we didn't really see Clinton Massey as anything but a running team. And it was surprising that they actually not only were passing, but passing successfully. And this second dimension to their offense was something I think that will help them particularly with the next game that they have coming up.
Right.
So I'm anxious to see this next game, and of course we're going to be broadcasting it.
Yep.
So as we've said, we think this will probably be what we would call the championship game of the SCOL. So it'll be fun being able to broadcast it this next Friday night.
I want to talk a little bit about our friends here at the Rusty Keg Tavern, 1801 Columbus Avenue in Washington Courthouse. What a great establishment. We're out here on the patio. They've got heaters. Very soon they will be putting up windows or covering on the outside to utilize this patio almost year-round. So we're looking forward to that. We'll be back here next week with another SCOL Coaches Show. I hope maybe we can get Brian out here, Brian Pettit, to come and talk to us about the restaurant. And I think we've got somebody on the way to do that. But it is just a beautiful place, Rick.
Absolutely first class, and it's a pleasure to be doing the show from the Rusty Keg, and I hope that we have many more shows into the basketball season and other sports season, and maybe even some other things that we're going to be doing here in the future. And of course, we're in the process of building out new studios in Wilmington.
Right.
We've got space that we're looking at here, actually in Washington Courthouse, and as well as up in Columbus. So as GTVR expands and we start building out these new facilities to help with our broadcasts, hopefully this will be an integral part of our remote broadcast to be able to do it from these types of facilities. It looks like Brian's just pulling in now in his truck. But I think that, from the standpoint of GTVR, obviously we're doing a lot of new innovative types of things with the technology. Some of them are successful, some of them may be a little less successful.
Right.
But that's the learning curve, that's the learning process that we have to go through in order to be able to bring people, really what we would call original content, because obviously people can listen to conventional radio and they can watch conventional television, but we have a lot of new things that we're going to be able to be bringing into being, including the fact that we're currently working on being able to put an app on the Roku box. And for people that are not familiar with what Roku is, it's a set-top box that connects to your digital television, and you can pull up such services as Netflix, Redbox, Hulu Plus. There are dozens and dozens, actually hundreds of not only paid apps where you can connect and stream movies and television shows, but there are companies like GTVR where innovative, off-the-wall broadcasting is really taking hold. Right. And as we put our app on Roku, we will be able to bring not only our product to smartphones and to laptops and to computers at home, but we will be on Roku, and we'll be in 3 million homes through that device. And it's a very interesting device, and it certainly is something that gives you a lot of entertainment unconventionally. But I think that eventually it will be the conventional product that we have out there. I know Brian's waiting here, so we'll bring Brian in and let him talk a little bit about his incredible establishment here.
All right, very good. Brian Pettit, come on in here. You've been out running around, and we finally got you back in here.
Yes. Making some runs to go get a couple of the fresh baked items that we get locally here. All of our bread comes from Atkinson's Bakery here in town, and our croissants we get from the Purple Turtle. So just getting things stocked up and ready to go for the day, and making a few runs to get the local items that we need.
Will you have football on the screens out here?
Of course. If there's football, it's on the screens. Whether it's college, pro, high school, football games here, that's what the public wants, that's what the public gets.
Tell us a little bit about some of the food items you've got here and some of the dining that you have here.
If anybody hasn't been out, they need to come out again. If they haven't been here in the last month or so, we've got our patio open. So now we're able to obviously increase capacity to cure some of the wait time problems that we had before of people getting in. That was a byproduct of having the tremendous food that we have. Most all of our food is handmade or prepared here on site. We grind our hamburger fresh daily, hand bread our chicken tenders, wings, chunks, all of that sort of thing. Our Philly meats, our Philly steaks we cut from fresh ribeye that we hand slice here. Everything's fresh, everything's homemade. Make our own fried mushrooms, our onion rings we make homemade. Just all around the menu. Not very many items is coming in prepared or prepackaged. Anything we can do locally or homemade, that's the way we do it.
How long have you been open here?
Actually, just a little bit over 3 years. We had our 3-year anniversary just August 23rd here, so 3 years and a month or two, whatever we are from there.
Fantastic. Can't say enough about this location and this atmosphere here. You've got the patio, you've got of course the indoor bar area. You also have a banquet area.
Yes, we do. We've got it's about a 2,300 square foot space, can accommodate up to about 250 people. We do a lot of different banquets and different events, anything from the smallest things as far as baptisms or even small birthday parties, all the way up to weddings. We do a ton of Christmas parties for both individual large families and companies or corporate events. Just anything that runs the gamut. A lot of business meetings as well through the middle of the week even. It's just always something going on back there.
That's fantastic. This, as I say, just an incredible location, and one of the things I am so impressed with are the big sandwiches, and the fries are out of this world.
Yes, they are. Yes. is back to our food a little bit. Something we started out with or have the vision with on our food is we feel we put a little bit of extra into each plate, as far as we're not trying to tell the cooks or tell the preppers to skimp on the portions or skimp on this or skimp on that. We feel that we put a little bit of extra into each plate that might cost us money on each individual visit, but our goal is to make you happy, to get you to come back and try us again, and maybe make a little bit more money next time, and just keep that snowball rolling and keep the public happy and keep them coming back.
If somebody wants to come to the Rusty Keg Tavern, how can they get here, and how can they get in contact with you?
They can check us out on the website, rustykeg.com. We're really conveniently located right on 62 on the north side of town there. 1801 Columbus Avenue is our address, but we're right across the street from CVS, Bob Evans, UDF, and AutoZone, so pretty well-known spot in town. Something I want to add too with the patio, it's even ready to go for today. We do have heaters out here, keeps it fairly warm. The rain is not really a detriment right now, and we are by the end of this month or the first week of November, we'll have a sliding glass window wall system that will let us be out here every day. We'll be here straight through winter, December, January, February. You'll be out here when it snows flying and eating and drinking and having a good time.
How many days a week are you open?
We are open 6 days a week. The only day we do close is Sunday. We open every day at 11, and we stay open till midnight on Thursday and Friday, and Friday and Saturday is till midnight, and the rest of the week is till 11. But we do take the day off on Sunday, as we all need time to rest and relax.
Sure. You've got some great gals working here that provide the service for the customers too.
Yes, we do. That staff is really the backbone of our operation. We've got up to a little bit over 20 people now. It's kind of blown up on us a little bit with the patio now. And on a Good Friday or Saturday night, it does take about 15 of us to keep this operation running. So we are up over 20 employees. A good handful of them we've had for pretty much the duration of the 3 years. People tend to, when they find us, as far as employment-wise, tend to stick. We are a family business. We treat our employees, like our extended family, and are always there to, help each other out when they need it. And they really enjoy working for us, and we enjoy having them work for us, and it seems to work out good for both parties.
And there are some other businesses here in your square too.
Yes, we also have a tanning salon, Summer Breeze Tanning, which actually is celebrating our 10-year anniversary on that just this very weekend. So if anybody's out and about, you can stop in. We've got a prize wheel that you can spin and get a free prize. Anything from free tanning to sunglasses and other different bottles of lotion and that sort of thing. We have a spa, Serene Spaces, as well as a tax office, which is Taxes by Brian Pettit, myself, that we also operate.
All right. Well, you've got a lot going on here. It's a great place for folks to come and enjoy a great meal and food, fun, and festivities.
Yeah, it sure is. And it's been an interesting ride the last 3 years with the restaurant and whatnot. We never really intended on owning a restaurant, but it came about when we bought the building to house the other businesses that we have, and we decided to open it up and give it a whirl. And it's been a fun, exciting ride, and met a lot of great people over the years, a lot of great customers that keep coming back time and time again. And we just hope we are doing everything right to make them want to keep coming every day.
All right. Well, we're going to be back here again next week with the SCOL Coaches Show. And I want to thank Coach Randy Clausen of the Greenfield McLean Tigers, Coach Dan McShirley of the Clinton Massey Falcons, and, of course, Brian Pettit of the Rusty Keg Tavern for having us here today. And we'll see you again next week on the SCOL Coaches Show on gtvr.net. Thank you, and have a great afternoon.